Sports Radio 1400 WKV. Hey, this is the morning show, and this guy's probably the most popular guy on grounds and maybe the nation. I saw he was number one on SportsCenter. Mr. Perfect Game at UVA for the baseball team, Will Roberts, the junior out of Richmond. Had to get him on the show. Will, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm still riding pretty high off what happened yesterday.
Now, I know you're probably going to do 10,000 interviews, and all your relatives are calling your friends. Did you get any sleep last night?
I got to sleep around 3 o'clock. I went over and watched SportsCenter with all my buddies, all the teammates, to see if it was going to be on there. And after that, I went over to my best friend's house from home and hung out with them for a while. But I got to sleep around 3, so I'm feeling pretty good today.
All right, I got to ask you, we're here with Will Roberts, the guy who threw a perfect game for the UVA baseball team as they defeated George Washington 2-0. Okay, let's start from the beginning. You're going to the ballpark, you know you're pitching. Did you ever think in a million years you'd throw a perfect game for UVA?
I really didn't. It's kind of every pitcher's goal going into the game, just not to give up any hits, not to walk anybody or hit anybody. And I mean, at some point during the game, usually something happens. Somebody will get a good hit, or just something will happen in the field. But I mean, really, I could never dream of this happening.
Well, could you tell during warm-ups that, hey, maybe I got something going today? I'm feeling something?
To be honest, it was probably my worst warm-up of the entire year. The pitching coach, Coach Kuhn, just usually sits in the dugout, in the bullpen with me, and doesn't say a word. But yesterday he had 3 or 4 things to say. Just mechanically to get me going. I wasn't really throwing too many strikes. So going into the game, I was kind of iffy. But once I got on that mound, I kind of got in a groove, and I felt pretty comfortable.
Now, was it? Look, it's kind of funny. It was a Tuesday night, 5 p.m. first pitch, George Washington. Was it cold out there when you were throwing? I know it's been ugly for the past couple of days.
It wasn't too bad, but before the game, before I went out to warm up, I had on kind of like a loose gear shirt, and I had to go in halfway through warm-ups and put on some heavier stuff just because after the sun went down, it did get kind of cold. But it really didn't affect me too much. I've been pitching in that the entire year, so I was kind of used to it.
All right, Will Roberts, he's on the morning show with me live. Great stuff. Okay, you're 5-0. You've been good this year, and this whole pitching staff's been good. When you're pitching in this game against George Washington, when did it start hitting you? Okay, wait a minute, I'm mowing guys down. I mean, what inning did it really start to sink in?
I think probably the 3rd inning I realized that nothing had happened in the field, and I've been in the windup the whole time. And then maybe the 5th, I was just kind of, is this kind of going to happen? Because never in my career at any level have I gone more than like 5 innings without giving up a hit. And then by around the 7th and 8th inning, it was just kind of, I'm going to make this happen. And by the 9th, I was just running off adrenaline, running off the crowd and my teammates.
And what pitches were working for you? I got to ask you, was it your fastball? I mean, what was working up there?
I had good command of my fastball and my slider the whole game. For the first probably 4 or 5 innings, I really didn't throw too many off-speed pitches just because I was locating pretty well. And then later in the game, I was able to get some swings and misses off sliders that really helped me out. And really, my best pitch has been my changeup, but I didn't throw a single one yesterday just because they only had a couple lefties in the lineup. And I never really got in deep counts with them, so I didn't really need to.
We're here with Will Roberts here on the Mark Moses Show here on Sports Radio 1400, talking about his perfect game at UVA as they defeated George Washington Tuesday night 2-0. And first perfect game at UVA, unbelievable stuff. And I know it's your first no-hitter for the program since 2006. And look, Will, I got to give you credit because, look, in Major League Baseball, they got the wooden bats. You guys have the metal bats. That's why I think it's even more amazing what you did on the mound. Would you agree?
I'd say in the majors they've got better hitters, though. But still, with the metal bats, just anything can happen. I know this year they've kind of toned it down with the new regulations with the metal bat, but it's still metal is metal. If they put the barrel on it, the ball's going to go. So, I mean, I was fortunate enough just to be able to make my pitches, and we had some great plays in the field. Keith Warman made a few plays at second base that really could have been hits on slow rollers, and Kenny Swab behind the plate was awesome all day.
And I know in postgame, Schwab was talking about the only ones he knows of is Mark Burley and now you, and everyone started laughing. Did you hear him say that?
Yeah, we kind of ribbed him about it a little bit, just to how giddy he was in the conference room after that. But I mean, it's a pretty cool moment.
Now with Schwab, was he just letting you go? Was he shaking you off? What was he like during the game working with you?
Oh, he was just putting the sign down and I was throwing it. I mean, it was pretty easy. There wasn't too much thinking going on.
Crazy stuff. And how were your teammates behind you? I mean, were they? This is the question, really. We're here with Will Roberts, Mr. Perfect Game now at UVA. Were they talking to you? I know there's a superstition in baseball. Okay, don't talk to the guy after a while. I mean, what was it like in the dugout?
I didn't talk to a single person the entire game. Everybody just kind of left me alone. It wasn't that they like separated themselves from me in the dugout. Just nobody would make eye contact and nobody would say anything. I got a couple of people came over, just patted me on the leg, but just not a single word for 9 innings.
And like you said, you've never done this before, so it must have been a weird feeling.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I haven't pitched into the 9th inning since probably my freshman year in summer ball. So I mean, it was pretty cool to go that long, and for it to be a perfect game just makes it even better.
Now, I know every no-hitter or perfect game has got one crazy play, and yours happened in the 8th inning with the comebacker off your leg. What was going through your mind when you saw that ball hit off the bat?
It was hit pretty hard, so I didn't have too much time to think. I kind of put my leg out there, and it hit my calf, and for some reason the ball just deadened. I don't think a baseball could have dropped in a more perfect spot for me to just pick it up and throw them out. So, I mean, it was definitely probably the luckiest play I've ever made on a baseball field.
And you know, I know you're probably a baseball fan. You know there's usually one play that's crazy and you need some luck, and it appears your own leg helped you out there.
Yeah, it was cool. After that play, I knew that I had a chance to do something special, because up to that point, nothing really stood out in my mind as being that one play that really changes the game. And once that happened, I kind of knew that something special was about to happen.
Sports Radio 1400 WKV. We're here with Will Roberts, the junior out of Richmond. And did you call your parents right after the game? Did they know? I mean, what happened?
They were both here. My mom and dad both made the trip up. They usually come and see me pitch when I'm starting midweek games. So I was really glad they were both there, because I wouldn't be here without them. I give them all the credit.
Oh, that is great. Good timing for your parents. And do you have the ball from last night?
I do. My catcher, Kenny Schwab, gave it to me right after the game, so that was pretty special.
Now, let me ask you, okay, your season, you guys have 2 losses, #1 in the country. Your pitching has been great. I mean, what has been the success? I mean, what have you guys done right to be this good so far here in the season?
I just think we kind of have an attitude of never quitting. We've been in some games where we've been down late, especially some ACC games, but nobody in that dugout thinks that we're going to lose. Up until that last out, we all think that we have a good shot of winning this game, just because how we prepare. And I mean, there's no quit on this team. Our offense has picked us up all year. Our pitching has been great, starting and relief. So I think we're in a good spot right now. I think some special things are to come for this team.
And you personally, real quick, Will, I mean, look, you haven't lost yet. I mean, what's been working for you this season on top of the perfect game?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is I haven't really been walking people. I've been making them put it in play, and the defense has been as good as I've ever seen it all year long. And so, I mean, they've been picking me up, and we've just been making plays.
Now your next time out, can we expect another perfect game? What can we get as fans?
I really don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, I think yesterday was pretty special. I don't think I'm going to forget it.
And you'll always remember, that's funny, you know, with Mark Burley, he said the same thing, where he said, you know, he didn't feel good going to the stadium, and when he was pitching in warm-ups, he wasn't sure. And it's funny how you said that as well, where you're like, I don't think I'm very good, and then all of a sudden it's the best you'll ever be.
Right. I mean, I was pretty surprised thinking back after. That was one of the first questions people asked me, was how'd you feel before the game? And I had to be honest, I knew I didn't really have it in the bullpen. Once I got out on the mound, I had to make some adjustments, and luckily for me, they worked out.
And real quick, okay, so bottom, top of the ninth, I'm trying to get this right. 2 outs, you throw that pitch, the grounder, what's going on through your mind? You're like, please make the play?
Oh, I once it went straight to Keith Worman. I knew he'd made every play for me the whole game, so I knew he was going to make that play.
All right. Hey, unbelievable stuff. Will, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're going to be a busy man all weekend. I know everyone's going to come up and congratulate you. So congratulations on the big perfect game, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks so much.